Which banks are the best when trying to get business funding or even personal funding? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Realm of Credit channel, where we are covering business credit, personal credit, entrepreneurship, and credit repair. All right. So, some individuals want to know, okay, what are the best banks that I should go to when trying to obtain funding and why? All right. So the thing is this: if you've been in the Patreon, you've been paying attention to all of the credit ebooks that I have, okay, and the credit repair tips, and you have your credit report numbers laid out the way it should be and organized the way it should be, then you're ready to go into the banks and get funding. All right. So individuals may say, where do I go? Do I go to the smaller banks or the bigger banks? I'm going to tell you like this: it's way more harder to get funding, all right, with the bigger banks than it is the smaller banks. So what you want to do, you want to go to the smaller banks in your community. All right. Now, why do you want to go to the smaller banks in your community? You want to go there because these are the banks that support a lot of small businesses within the community. Okay. Now, if you are in the community, let's say if you're going to banks within just miles of you. All right. And let's just say if you have a small business and you have it registered either with your personal address or you have it registered with, a brick and mortar address that you are renting. These are the community banks that are more likely to give you funding versus the bigger banks. All right. When you have a lot of the smaller banks, when you have a lot of the smaller banks in your vicinity, they're more supportive of you. Why? Because they want to lend you money. If you're set up right, they want to lend you money. Okay. So you will be able to do business within the community. All right. A lot of banks think like this. A lot of individuals who run these banks or who work within these banks, they think this way. All right. And if they know that it's a possibility that there's an opportunity for you to become a big business and pour more revenue into the city and offer a service to the city, they will give you funding before a bigger bank will. All right. A lot of individuals, they overlook a lot of these banks. For example, I'm in Florida. Some of our smaller banks are like Mid Florida Credit Union. We got Achieve Credit Union. We have a lot of small banks. Pinellas Credit Union. A lot of these are the smaller banks that are going to give you the funding. Okay, and if you have your numbers laid out, right, your credit report numbers, you can go to about 1 to 4 of these banks. And I always say this: if your community, find out what are the smaller banks within your community, all right, and then write them down. Get your data points lined up, okay, and then go into these banks, okay, and apply for funding. All right. Now, if you have certain things on your credit report, such as like inquiries and things like that, then you can go on the Patreon, download the ebooks, the credit repair ebooks. Get a lot of these inquiries removed off. I have the DIY inquiry removal techniques within the credit repair book. You can remove those off. And for the banks that do not lend you funding, let's say if you went to like 4 or 5 banks, you apply, only 3 lend you funding, but now you have about 5 inquiries. Before those cards or that funding hit your bank account, you can use the inquiry removal techniques from the credit repair ebooks, okay, and just have them removed. All right, now the thing is this also: you get your funding on TAC, okay, and the inquiries are still on there. You will have to keep them on there, all right, but you can remove the ones you can remove the inquiry of the banks that had denied you, okay, and then just rinse and repeat. All right. But the thing is, I would go into your neighborhood and I would find, 1 to 4 small credit union banks or small banks. Okay, get my data points where it needs to be, and then go apply for funding. This is funding that you can take, okay, and invest, pour money back into your neighborhood and build an even stronger relationship with these banks. Okay. And another thing is, it also gives you access to a lot of the presidents and vice presidents of the banks. All right, these are things that you just will not have access to with a bigger bank. But with the smaller banks, neighborhood banks, all right, your data points are set up good. Your business is presented and organized properly. All right, and then you have access to a lot of the big wigs that are running these banks. All right, and that relationship should just get even more stronger. Okay, so I want to make this video, y'all. And remember, small banks before the big banks. All right. Remember also, if y'all interested in the Patreon or the credit repair ebooks. All right. Even if you come into the Patreon just to get that value, download it all. All right. And then bump out, at least come get value. Okay. Get value, take action. This is my video, and I will catch all of you beautiful supporters on the Up and Up. Howdy.